access to any of my picture.
Good evening and welcome to Politics Roundabout. My name is Mercy Upa, and today we are going to be having a conversation on June 12, Democracy Day, the labor of our heroes past, and we are connecting with Michael Isaac, who is an advocate, for justice and good governance. We'll connect with him virtually from Abuja. Good evening, Michael.
Yeah, thank you so much. But a lot of decision he has taken, I think it has brought us to this situation where we are right now, and it is not too good for us. A lot of things, the price of goods in the market, and that is what affects the common man in the street. Okay. And there is no rhetorics or language you're going to tell him that is going to be comfortable with that when those things does not translate directly into his life. And on the issue of the labor that you said, the federal government was, as a matter of urgency with the current reality, me, I was actually projecting between 100,000, 150 to 200 as a minimum wage. But of course, the government are trying to say they cannot, and particularly the governors. There was an unverified data that was released about what respective state governors and state governments say they are going to pay. And it's so unfortunate that at this level we are still like that. I would suggest here right now on the live TV that if the state governors and all government officials are saying the minimum wage should be 62 or 57 naira, 67,000 as they have advocated, I would say let their own too fall in those categories and let's see how we go.
Okay. Nigeria is celebrating 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. And by mere looking at the nature of democracy alone, which is government of the people, for the people, by the people, do you see the true essence of democracy playing out? This is the current administration's first celebration of democracy since assumption of power, and they came with a lot of renewed hope for Nigeria, made a lot of bold promises. Do you see democracy playing out?
Basically, I'm going to say yes, in the aspect of maybe when you come to areas like freedom of speech. But the truth is, I think so far in our democracy, we've had the worst form of government. When I mean the worst form of governance from 1999
sorry, Michael. Sorry to butt in, Michael. When you say that at least the Nigerians have freedom of speech now, what do you really mean?
Please, I beg your pardon. Can I hear you again?
When you say that Nigerians now, at least for in a very long time, now are enjoying freedom of speech, which is also one of the beauties of democracy, what do you mean by that? Can you throw more light on that?
When I mean freedom of speech, today I can go to the social media or go and talk what I'm supposed to talk. But if it is under the military regime, that section of the constitution is automatically suspended. And maybe that is just the benefit of the democracy we're having currently now. Even though we've had some pocket of issues where we see media men and journalists being picked. But of course, when people voice out, you can see the government intervenes and release those people. Maybe that's just the basic benefit of democracy so far. Any other thing, I don't think we're actually enjoying benefit of democracy.
But it can't be all that bad. I mean, the presidency, the current administration rather, must have done something. There's a 1 year, they're already 1 year in office, that made people to say, yes, truly indeed, democracy is worth fighting for. 25 years of uninterrupted democracy is worth celebrating.
Yes, like we have said, there are some decisions that the government has took, this particular administration, and those decisions, I won't say they really
Civilian rule, democracy is the better option for Nigeria, too.
Yeah, basically, we don't have an option. I'm not going to call for any other form of governance for now. But however, there is something I want us to remove from our hearts or disable from our minds. And that is what, when people say the worst form of democracy is better than the best military regime, I beg to differ. Democracy, we're supposed to see the dividends. So far, we have not seen the dividends. This government came, thank God for what the current president is actually doing. He did not promise us what he's not going to do. What he said he's going to do, that is what he has been doing. So he has not lied or differed, but the truth is, you must add facts. The economic indicators, they are not so good at the moment.
Okay, talk to us about, the labor of our heroes past. Is it in vain, or it has not been in vain?
The labors of our heroes past, I strongly believe that wherever they are right now, I don't think they'll be too proud of what they've seen. Because sometimes I wonder that with the level of limited knowledge they have, you can see the institutions and things, the legacy they have left behind. And after then, I think maybe it's going to be probably President Obasanjo that actually left one or two structural legacies. After that, I don't think there is any other thing. So their label, I'm not going to say it's in vain, because we actually got the freedom from colonial rule. But however, I'm sure they are not too happy with things they'll be saying wherever they are right now. Truth be told.
Give us a picture of Nigeria currently. What's the situation of things? I know you say economically it's not looking too good, but do you mind giving us a brief picture of things currently as we speak?
The truth is, let me paint the situation. The prices of things on the market, when you talk about inflation, it is at an all-time high. Unemployment, the same thing. Things, and the outlook is not looking too good out there. The prices of things, the common man cannot go to the market and get anything meaningful. The truth is, a lot of us, including some of our leaders, they know it, but it's just that they can't see it. Out there, the outlook is not too good at all. At all. Nigerians are complaining, and the president must steer the direction of the ship to the right place. Otherwise, I'm afraid where we are heading to, the outlook is not too good at all.
What do you think it was the vision, as envisaged by our forefathers? I mean, this young generation is always hearing of the labor of our heroes past, may it not be in vain, but they don't really understand the kind of vision that was envisaged by these heroes past.
Yeah, they had our founding fathers. They had better visions. And what are these visions? They want to see a prosperous nation where there will be equity and justice for all. But today, if you look at it, it is not like that. Our leaders are so self-centered, highly corrupt, and they don't care. Right from virtually all the institution is being, in fact, the level of governance has dropped. If you look at the judiciary today, you see two federal high court, for instance, giving two conflicting judgments. Today, no meaningful nation grows with those kind of things. They have politicized everything, and corruption is an all-time high. And that is not what our founding fathers saw. I strongly believe that they saw a prosperous nation for all. But the situation right now, I don't think it's like that. Majorly, most of the problem rests on our leaders.
Okay.
The level of governance has.
I'm glad you delved into, because I was going to ask, next, the causes or factors responsible, for failing to live up to the vision as envisaged by our forefathers. You may mention a corruption of leaders, but some school of thought are of the opinion that the major factor is actually the followers and not really the leaders. That, as a matter of fact, the people get the kind of leader they deserve. Mind you, the people vote these people in various offices, but oftentimes all the blame just goes to the leaders, forgetting again that they have the constitutional power to carry out impeachment at certain level, or object or call back even a rep member who is not living up to expectations. So why is it always the leader when followers fail to make these leaders accountable in one too many times?
Yes, I agree with you. I think part of the problem, part of the challenges rests on the followers. I agree with you. Because I think recently the former Ministry of Transportation said something that the Nigerian citizens and Nigerians do not really know the level of power they have. That the leader is even afraid of them. But it's so unfortunate we don't know it. And the truth is, we get the kind of leaders that we want. Like in the words of Professor Lumumba, he said it's so unfortunate in Africa here, I think in one of his public lectures. He said in Africa here, the problem kind of leaders they want. I was discussing with a very highly intellectual individual, and he told me politics is all about interest. So take for instance, if a criminal is protecting my interest, I'm going to support him. That is kind of politics we play, and it's so unfortunate. It's not going to take us anywhere. I'm afraid we must change from such mentality and mindset. Thank you.
Okay, that's good to know. But however, how do leaders, followers now even hold leaders accountable? Because it appears as though sometimes they are not being listened to. Take, for instance, now the current situation between Labour and the federal government. There, it gets to a point now where it becomes more of a dictatorship or leaving others with little or no choice at all. And oftentimes Nigerians try to make demands or make protests and they are being restricted and even threatened with sack. It happened in the medical profession. It's not happening with the Nigerian workers between Labour and the federal government. How then do Nigerian, or how would moving forward Nigerians get the government to listen to them? Because that's the whole beauty of democracy, right? It's not a dictatorship. You get to listen to the people whom voted you into power to represent them.
Like you have said, we as followers
one who had not experienced the military regime would ever wish, that Nigeria returns back to that era. But we're due for a break now. We'll come back. We'll continue this conversation on June 12th, Democracy Day, the label of our heroes past. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We're still having a conversation with Michael Isaac here on Politics Roundabout, having a conversation on Democracy Day, 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. And days like this, people love to reflect, go back to the memory lane and talk about the country Nigeria. And oftentimes what I hear is a negative. But Michael Isaac, I believe we have recorded lots of positive strides or greatness in this country in these 25 years of uninterrupted democracy. Let's talk more about the positive, shall we? Hello, Mike Isaac. May I confirm you're still with us?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Let's talk more about the positive, too. Let's talk more about the positive, because days like this, people love to dwell and talk about all the things that have gone wrong in our beautiful Nigeria. But let's dwell more in the last lap of the program on the positive, the wins of 25 years of uninterrupted democracy.
Yeah, basically, if you say we should talk about the positives, okay, we're going to give it that for the first time we've seen 25 years of unbroken democracy. That's one of the positives. And in the course of those aspects, we have seen like freedom of speech. That's one of the major positives for me. And maybe some institutions came those period, maybe the EFCC, the ICPC, and things like that, and maybe some pockets of development here and there, like the current new railway we have. These are some of the positives we have. But however, I think the positives we have is still below expectation, in my own opinion.
Okay, there is a bill, before the presidency, awaiting approval. Maybe by Friday, which is tomorrow, Nigeria will get, a feed of that news. And this is concerning the 6 years rotational tenure for presidency here in Nigeria. Let me quickly get your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, sorry, can you come again? I can't hear you very well.
Let me get your thought on the recent bill that is right, before the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Hopefully Friday, Nigerians may get, news on concerning that bill, the rotational presidency, and within the duration of 6 years. Let me get your take. Should that become a law? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction. Why I said so is I think you have the ability to see less of a bad governance or bad leader anytime maybe they are elected or they force their way into power. You just know after 6 years. Because from the norm, if you carefully look at the norm, after the first time, 4 years, a lot of them tend to meander and find their way to come back for the second time. And I think it's a good step in the right direction. And there are a lot of bills that the president has proposed. I want to here appeal and urge him to make sure he takes those steps, like things like regional government that has been proposed, I think when we get back to that level, a lot of the state government are going to sit up, and the local government autonomy. These are meaningful bills that I strongly believe that if passed, can move Nigeria in the right direction. So it's a good thing. We are hopeful that also the minimum wage, the president is going to give something meaningful for Nigerian workers, and also he should also have in view or in his mind the unemployed too, because we still have them there.
Well, I was hoping you won't have to mention that of minimum wage, because that one is another issue, ball game of its own entirely, where the federal government is of the opinion that they have come to conclusion in terms of they have reached an agreement, and they have settled with 62,000 naira. But Labour came out to say that there was never an agreement, that they proposed 250,000 naira. The tripartite committee proposed 62,000 naira, and there was no agreement. But here you have it on Democracy Day, the president coming out and asking Nigerians that they have reached an agreement. And up to now, we are having a conversation now where there probably is mass threat of mass sack. Should Labour continue to come up or present or project what they termed the unrealistic proposal before on the table. But that aside, moving away from that, let's talk about the future, what the future holds like, because this June 12, 2024 is one being celebrated where the old national anthem has become the new, talking about the Nigeria we hail thee. There have been a lot of changes. We're already enjoying June 12 instead of May 29th as Democracy Day. Now is June 12th. Now we have the Nigeria we hail thee national anthem, and there seem to be lots and lots of bills being passed into law that are people oriented, that are more for development, and more making people to enjoy dividends of democracy. What does the future holds like? What do you think?
Yeah, like I said from the onset, we must be optimistic and have faith in our country. And those people-oriented bills that the president has maybe proposed, I think they should go ahead about it. And on the Labour, I just want to quickly say something. The Labour should not be blackmailed to give in or cave in to pressure. They must stand their ground, because if you still look at the cost of governance, it's still high. The elected officers, they are not cutting down the cost of governance. So Labour should not do otherwise. I want to appeal to Labour to still stand their ground. For the future, we must consciously move from consumption to production. We must start massively producing. Otherwise, we will move forward. So for the future, the government should encourage production. And how do you do that? You must create an enabling environment and conducive environment for business owners for existing business to survive, and new business entrepreneurs should come into the market. Once you do that, you don't even need to do any other thing. You're going to see the level of investment and FDI increases. But when those things are not done, you keep struggling, and that's why you see the president move from point A to country A to country B, saying he's going to look for investors. Once your environment is very conducive, you don't even need to do those things. The foreign investors, they are going to come on their own. So we must consciously move to that extent of production.
And that's a fine place to leave it. Thank you very much, Michael Isaac, for having a fun conversation with me this evening here on Politics Roundabout, talking about a Democracy Day, 25 years of uninterrupted democracy, the label of our heroes past. Thank you so much. Michael Isaac is a good governance advocate of good governance and an economist as well. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much.
And to you, our viewers, thank you for staying by. My name is Mercy Upa. Bye for now.
Thank you so much.